When you think of billionaires, you probably picture flashy lifestyles, mega yachts gliding across turquoise waters, private jets lined up in exclusive airport hangars, and extravagant parties in the world's most glamorous cities. But here's the thing, I don't think people realize just how many billionaires are basically invisible. The world of extreme wealth isn't always about being in the spotlight or making headlines. In fact, some of the richest people on the planet are so discreet, you could walk right past them on the street and never know you were in the presence of a financial giant. Some of the world's richest individuals don't live in Hollywood or Silicon Valley. They're quietly running empires from the heart of bustling business districts in cities like London, Hong Kong, Dubai, and Madrid. Their influence shapes global markets, but their names rarely appear in the news. These are the titans who own skyscrapers, control supply chains, and make decisions that ripple across continents. Yet they remain almost completely unknown to the general public. You've never heard of them. They blend in with the crowd, walking among us without the entourage or paparazzi you might expect. While some billionaires crave attention, these secret billionaires prefer to keep their wealth and their identities under wraps. They're the ultimate masters of low-key living, and their stories are rarely told. Let's fix that. First, let's talk about what it means to be a centi-billionaire. So what's a centi-billionaire? Simply put, it's someone with at least $100 billion. That's 11 zeros. To put it in perspective, if you spent $1 million every single day, it would take you over 270 years to spend 100 billion. That's a level of wealth most of us can't even imagine, and yet there are people walking this earth who have reached that milestone, and many of them do it without ever stepping into the limelight. Sure, you know Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, the tech moguls who dominate headlines and social media feeds. But have you ever heard of Amancio Ortega? He's worth over $100 billion and is the mastermind behind Zara, the global fashion powerhouse. Ortega started out as a humble shop assistant in Spain, and through decades of hard work and innovation, he built an empire that changed the way the world shops for clothes. Despite his immense fortune, Ortega is famously private. He rarely gives interviews, avoids public events, and prefers to let his business speak for itself. Or how about Gautam Adani from India? He's another name you might not recognize, but his impact is enormous. Adani made his fortune in ports, logistics, and energy, turning a small trading firm into one of India's largest conglomerates. His company's power cities move goods across continents and employ tens of thousands of people. Yet, despite his influence, Adani keeps a remarkably low profile, rarely appearing in the media and shying away from the celebrity status that often comes with such wealth. Then there's Julia Koch. She's a billionaire thanks to her stake in Koch Industries, one of the largest privately held companies in the United States. After inheriting her fortune, Julia could have chosen a life of public glamour, but instead she avoids the limelight, focusing on philanthropy and family. Koch Industries touches everything from oil to consumer goods, yet Julia's name is barely known outside elite circles. So why don't we know these people? The answer is simple. They stay out of headlines, don't tweet every thought, and let their businesses do the talking. In a world obsessed with celebrity culture, these billionaires have mastered the art of invisibility. They use private security, travel discreetly, and often operate through layers of holding companies and trusts. Their homes are hidden behind high walls, and their personal lives are fiercely guarded. Unlike the billionaires who thrive on attention, these secretive tycoons avoid interviews, rarely attend public events, and keep their social media presence to a minimum, or don't have one at all. They understand that true power often comes from staying out of the spotlight, making moves behind the scenes, and letting their influence speak for itself. Here's a fun fact. There are more than 2,500 billionaires worldwide, but most fly under the radar. While a handful of names dominate the headlines, the vast majority of billionaires are content to build their fortunes quietly, away from the glare of public attention. Their wealth is spread across industries, real estate, manufacturing, finance, technology, and more. And their stories are as diverse as the countries they call home. Many of these billionaires own properties you'll never see on a magazine cover, hidden mansions, private islands, and estates tucked away in remote corners of the world. Their art collections, yachts, and jets are kept out of sight, and their names rarely appear on guest lists for high-profile events. So next time you wonder who's really rich, remember, it's not always the people you see on TV. The world's wealthiest individuals might be living right next door, running global empires from behind closed doors, and shaping the future in ways you'd never expect. The secret billionaires are out there, quietly building legacies that will last for generations, proving that sometimes the richest people are the ones you've never even heard of. Let's dive even deeper into the world of the unseen elite by uncovering the story of another secret billionaire, Leonardo Del Vecchio. While his name might not ring a bell, chances are you've encountered his influence without even knowing it, perhaps every time you put on a pair of glasses. Leonardo Del Vecchio was the visionary founder behind Luxottica, the global eyewear giant responsible for brands like Ray-Ban, Oakley, and Persol, and for producing frames for luxury labels such as Prada and Armani. Born into poverty in Milan, Del Vecchio's early life was anything but glamorous. Orphaned as a child, he started out as an apprentice in a tool shop, but it was here, working with metal and machinery, that he spotted an opportunity: the growing demand for high-quality eyewear. In 1961, with little capital but a lot of determination, Del Vecchio set up a small workshop in the Italian Alps. His big idea? To control the entire eyewear supply chain, from design and manufacturing to retail. This strategy, known as vertical integration, allowed Luxottica to dominate the global market, swallowing up competitors and signing exclusive deals with fashion houses. By quietly acquiring retail chains like LensCrafters and Sunglass Hut, Del Vecchio ensured that his products were everywhere, even if his name wasn't. What's truly fascinating is how Del Vecchio kept a low profile despite his immense influence. He rarely gave interviews, avoided public feuds, and let the Luxottica brand shine instead of his own persona. Even as he amassed a fortune worth over $25 billion, Del Vecchio was known for his modesty, often dressing simply and keeping his personal life out of the headlines. Here's an interesting tidbit. At one point, Luxottica produced nearly 80% of the world's major eyewear brands, making Del Vecchio one of the most powerful yet least recognized figures in fashion and retail. His empire was so discreetly built that most consumers had no idea their favorite designer glasses all trace back to the same Italian mastermind. Del Vecchio's legacy is a masterclass in building and maintaining wealth through innovation, strategic acquisitions, and a relentless focus on quality, all while maintaining a cloak of invisibility. His story proves that you don't need a flashy public image to shape global industries and amass a fortune that lasts for generations. Now, let's turn our attention to another figure whose staggering fortune is matched only by her preference for privacy, Denise Coates. If you've ever placed a bet online, there's a good chance you've interacted with her empire without ever hearing her name. Denise is the founder and CEO of Bet365, one of the world's largest online gambling companies, processing billions in wagers every year. Her story begins in the English city of Stoke-on-Trent, where Denise worked in her family's small chain of betting shops. Sensing the potential of the internet in the early 2000s, she took a massive gamble, literally, by mortgaging her family's business to launch Bet365's online platform. Her vision? To create a seamless, user-friendly betting experience accessible from anywhere, at any time. This bold move paid off. Today, Bet365 is a global powerhouse, generating annual revenues in the billions and employing thousands of people. What sets Denise apart is not just her business acumen, but her relentless focus on technology and innovation. She quietly built proprietary software to keep Bet365 ahead of competitors while maintaining strict control over the company's operations. Despite her immense wealth, her personal fortune is estimated at over $8 billion. Denise remains almost entirely out of the spotlight. She rarely grants interviews, avoids industry events, and is known for her low-key lifestyle. Even her company headquarters, a modest office complex in Stoke, reflects her preference for understatement. But Denise's influence extends beyond betting. Through the Denise Coates Foundation, she has donated hundreds of millions to hospitals, education, and disaster relief, making her one of Britain's most generous philanthropists. Yet, her journey hasn't been without controversy. The gambling industry faces ongoing scrutiny for its impact on vulnerable players, and Bet365 has had to navigate regulatory challenges and public criticism. Denise's response has been to invest heavily in responsible gaming initiatives, striving to balance business success with social responsibility. Denise Coates' story is a testament to how vision, risk-taking, and a commitment to privacy can yield not just immense personal wealth, but a lasting impact on industries and communities, often from the shadows. Our next secret billionaire is a master of quiet transformation, Li Shufu. While his name may not ring a bell outside business circles, his influence stretches across continents and industries. Li is the founder and chairman of Geely, a Chinese automotive giant that has redefined what it means to be a global car maker. Li's journey began in rural China, where he started by manufacturing refrigerator parts. Sensing the winds of change, he pivoted in the 1980s to motorcycles and eventually to cars, a daring leap in a market dominated by foreign brands. Against all odds, Li's vision was clear: build a Chinese car company that could compete on the world stage. Through relentless innovation, strategic partnerships, and a laser focus on quality, Geely grew rapidly. But Li didn't stop there. In 2010, he made headlines by acquiring Volvo Cars, rescuing the iconic Swedish brand and injecting it with new life through investments in technology and design. His quiet, hands-on approach saw Volvo return to profitability and launch a wave of award-winning vehicles. Li's empire now stretches beyond Geely and Volvo. He has stakes in Daimler, Lotus, and even London's famous black cab company, transforming legacy brands with electric vehicles and smart mobility solutions. His approach: stay behind the scenes, empower talented managers, and reinvest profits into R&D and sustainability. Asset management is Li's hallmark. He's created a network of interconnected companies, each benefiting from shared technology and research, yet operating with autonomy. This unique structure allows Li to respond quickly to market shifts, whether it's the rise of electric vehicles or the demand for connected cars. Legacy is always top of mind. Li Shufu is building more than a business. He's shaping the future of mobility, championing green technologies, and setting new standards for Chinese entrepreneurship on the global stage. All this while maintaining a low profile and letting his work speak for itself. So what do these secret billionaires have in common? From Leonardo Del Vecchio's eyewear empire to Denise Coates' digital betting revolution and Li Shufu's automotive ascent, one thing is clear: true wealth often grows in the shadows, not the spotlight. Unlike the household names that dominate headlines, these billionaires quietly build empires by spotting overlooked opportunities and executing with relentless focus. They share a few key traits: vision that looks beyond the obvious, willingness to take calculated risks, and a knack for staying ahead of the curve through innovation. Most importantly, they're masters of adaptation, turning challenges into stepping stones and leveraging global networks to scale their influence. Their strategies are as diverse as their industries, but a common thread runs through them all: discretion. By letting their successes speak for themselves, they avoid unnecessary attention and competition, allowing them to maneuver freely in the world's biggest markets. As the global economy evolves, expect more fortunes to be built and hidden in unexpected places. Technology, sustainability, and shifting consumer trends will continue to reward those who can see what others miss and act decisively. The next generation of secret billionaires may be even more elusive, shaping our world from behind the scenes. In the end, the lesson is simple. Sometimes the richest people are not the loudest, but the ones who quietly change the game.